Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News. We are continuing our series on remembering the Mobile Beat Las Vegas show, and tonight my guest is the one and only Mike Walter. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, John. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. It is fabulous to have you with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, for a lot of you, you maybe have seen Mike. He's one of the writers for the Disc Jockey News on front page right there in the upper left.
Front page, baby. Woo! Front page.
But he's also a speaker. He's presented at different DJ conventions, different meetings around the country, and actually he's even spoken outside the DJ industry. I guess the point is, if there's a microphone, Mike.
It's hard to get me away from it. Is the point? Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what we want to talk about tonight is we're kind of looking back at some of our past experiences at Mobile Beat, the Las Vegas show there. And specifically, I wanted to start off with your very first time. About how long ago was that when the very first time you went out to the Mobile Beat Las Vegas TV show?
I don't remember the exact date. I think it was about 15 years ago. So we call it maybe 99, maybe 98. Mm-hmm. And yeah, when you sent this message out to the writers and said, hey, who wants to participate? Memories of Mobile Beat. I said I had to get on this call and share this because it was such an amazing, epic journey that we had. The very first time I was going to speak out there, which Mike Buonaccorso had given me permission to speak and gave me a seminar slot. I was honored. I previously had spoken at DJ Times, but this was a big opportunity, and I had never gone to the Mobile Beat show. So I was going to bring, I think we had about 12 or 13 elite entertainers who were going to make the trip with me.
Wow.
And we were supposed to leave Sunday, maybe, no, you know what it was? Monday morning. It was the Monday morning because Monday would be a travel day, and then I was going to speak on Tuesday. We did a bridal show on Sunday. Some of those people stayed at my house Sunday night. Some of them stayed at the office because we had this shuttle that was going to pick us up super early in the morning and take us down to Philadelphia Airport where we were flying out of. And wouldn't you know, we got clobbered with 1.5 feet of snow that Sunday night. And you of all people can relate to a snowstorm altering your plans. Maybe some people throughout the country might not be able to relate to that, but that level of snow, especially in New Jersey, it throws everything off. Forget about it. You can't travel. Flights were canceled, everything else. And so now I've got a few DJs stuck in my house, and then the other DJs that had been in the office eventually wound up making it to my townhouse. So we had about a dozen DJs sleeping on couches and in spare bedrooms and everything else. I remember I told Dominic, he was at the office, I said, bring some supplies with you when you come to my house. He showed up with Yoo-Hoos and like Twinkies. I was like, that's not exactly what I meant by supplies. But we made it through the night, and I'll never forget speaking to Randy Bartlett. And Randy was on the phone. He's in Vegas now, keep in mind. Uh-huh. And I said, Randy, I don't even know if we're going to make it out. Because at that point, Monday afternoon, all flights are canceled. I don't know if we're going to make it. And he said, this is devastating. I said, you're in Vegas. It's devastating for me. You can't be devastated. You're there. But the bottom line was we made it a day late, and Mobile Beat was great to me. They actually rescheduled. They flipped the schedule at the last minute. I believe Peter Murray spoke in my spot on that Tuesday, and then we made it in like Tuesday night, and they opened up a spot for me to speak on Wednesday, which was really nice of Mike Buonaccorso to accommodate me, and I did my first seminar ever, not without a lot of drama and just an epic journey for all of us to get out there. It's something that none of us will ever forget.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, and I remember as one of the people in the crowd hearing the story from the other side.
There's a bunch of guys stranded in New Jersey. It was crazy. Yeah.
Oh, crazy. So before you guys, what was that night before as far as the excitement, or maybe even a few days before with your staff? What kind of an excitement, or what was the vibe from your staff that, going to Vegas for the first time for a show?
Yeah, again, we had attended DJ Times, and so as a group, we had attended Atlantic City, and so we were familiar with going to a show, but there was something different and more exciting about getting on a plane and going to Las Vegas. Some of the crew had never been to Las Vegas at all, so for them, it was going to be this first time. And, if you live in a cold weather, when you get a chance to visit Vegas in February, it's nice. You're going to get a break from the weather. So besides the fact that we were all excited for Mobile Beat, we were just excited to do this big road trip at the time. And so it was sort of a bummer that we were snowed in, but then we made the most of it, and we were playing board games all day long. And I was a bachelor at the time, and I had a wine rack in my townhouse, completely washed out. We emptied every bottle of wine in my wine rack that night. So it was a fun memory, but yeah, kind of a mixed emotion because we were stuck. Yeah.
Oh, great stuff! Great stuff.
It was. Yeah.
And you've been, of course, a staple at the Mobile Beat show. You've been there many times since that time.
Mm-hmm.
What are a couple of the highlights, some of the things that have just stood out for you at the show over the years?
Yeah, and John, you're right. I've attended that show. Matter of fact, this past year was the first year I missed in the longest time. I can't remember. And it was mainly because I wanted to be with you at NAMM last year. Earlier this year, you brought me out to NAMM. But it's been a great show all those years. I'll tell you, one of the highlights really that stands out for me is when Big Daddy and I got to open for Chubby Checker. Chubby Checker was the highlight of one of their DJ All-Star shows or whatever they call it. And I was going to do a game, and Big Daddy was going to do a dance. And as the scheduling turned out, he and I were the two acts immediately before Chubby Checker. So I guess one of my claims to fame in life is that I can say that I opened for Chubby Checker. And not only opening for him, but I don't know, I'm sure you were there that year, John. He, at one point, walked into a seminar and just grabbed a microphone and basically gave us 25 minutes on the history of rock and roll, which is a little bit, the way he tells it, it's a little bit weighted towards Chubby Checker, if you will. But, if you listen to Chubby Checker, he invented dancing, novelty dancing, rock and roll, the Beatles. There would be no Beatles without Chubby Checker. So maybe he's inflated his own self-worth slightly, but it was still a fantastic moment for anyone that was in that room because we are now being addressed by this iconic figure, this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good year. I remember hearing more than just the things we saw in front. Some of the backstories were pretty cool.
Right.
Very cool.
Right. Yeah. And another highlight for me, at DJ conventions, Marcello and I are always trying to organize fitness walks in the morning and runs in the morning. And there's something really special about that because, again, coming from the Northeast, that is a very cold, snowy, icy time of year. And to get a 3 or 4 or 5 day break in the nicer weather, it's wonderful. And we usually have a very good turnout for those fitness walks and the runs in the morning. I will never forget. Do you know Ron Michaels from Colorado?
Yes.
You play with Ron? I'll never forget. I was a couple years ago. I was training for a marathon, and I had to do a 10 or 12 miler while I was out there. And Ron just out of the blue said, I'll join you. And I fully expected to do that distance by myself because who's going to do that other than Jay Sims? Who's going to do that distance? But Ron joined me. So that was a wonderful memory that I have, too, from making it out there and being in the nicer weather and having a great run with a great friend,
Mm-hmm. Now, as you're reminiscing, what I'm hearing is that it sounds like the conventions are a great connecting time for you with a lot of the friends from around the country.
Definitely, especially that that central of the state and West Coast group that I rarely get to see any other time except for in Las Vegas. And you know me, John, I've said for years that there's so many different reasons to attend a DJ convention, and the networking and the camaraderie and the social aspect is a huge part of it. You can learn a lot by looking at videos online and reading articles, but there's something different about getting together one-on-one and really getting to know people that is different, and that's a unique thing about DJ conventions.
Yeah, that it definitely is. And as we've referred to it, it's like a huge family reunion for a lot of us.
If you've been going to conventions for a long time, it certainly is, without a doubt. Yeah,
great stuff. Well, Mike, I want to thank you. This has been some great stuff, and for those of you out there watching, if you get a chance to check it out, Mobile Beat Las Vegas Convention is coming up in February. You can go to www.mobilebeat.com, and from there you can hit the convention link. That was tougher to say than I thought.
Yeah, spit that out, John.
Yeah, but you can hit the Las Vegas DJ Convention there on Mobile Beat site, and you can go out and check that out. They've got a discount on the show passes going until the first of the year, so check it out. We'd love to see you in Las Vegas.
Great.
Mike, again, thank you very much, and I'll see you in February.
Thanks, John. See you then.
All right, this is John Young with the Disc Jockey News. Good night.
Good night.